hardest part. You already know how to do all these things. I want you to now sell yourself. When I say sell yourself, I mean tell people what you do. Don't be ashamed. You can do free work initially just to show people the kind of work you're able to produce. Tell people, I am employed, but I also do this on the side. When you get your first client, I am going to be insistent on this. When you get your first client, kindly do a job that is outstanding. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so happy you guys are here. Thank you guys for 50+ subscriber. I'm so thankful for the new subscribers. For the returning subscriber, welcome. Here we talk about self-development, we talk about business, we talk about money and everything in between. Okay, so if you're new here, you're welcome to stay. So today I'm doing a video about how you can start your business while you're still working a 9-to-5. Okay, so in this channel I've always talked about just start, you know, but I said let me give more guidance as to how to start. If you have ever found yourself in a situation where you're just wondering, how do I start when I still have my 9-to-5? It's so hard for you to hold a 9-to-5 and still start any business. Okay, so these are some of the things that I think can be helpful for you to start any business that you feel like you're ready to start. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a few pointers. Probably they will help you in you knowing how to move forward in starting that business. Okay, so number one, choose a name. Okay, so when you want to start a business, this is what I want you to do. I want you not to think about, don't overthink, don't think so much of the name of the business in terms of the business that you want to start. Okay, I want you to look for a business name that is not so confiding. This is what I mean. For example, if you come up with a business that is very specific, like let's say something like you want to start a car business, but a car business, like probably that's something that is at the back of your mind, but because this is your first business, my suggestion will be look for a name that does not confide you. So I will choose something like ventures, enterprise, so that in case later you want to change, you can change. The reason why I'm saying choose a name that does not confine is because I have come to realize in most cases there are businesses that you will start, but the customer will determine how your business moves forward. Okay, so you can start, for example, something like you want to start a car hire business in terms of hiring out cars. Okay, but you find out that the customer are requesting for sort of like a tour guide sort of a car. So you will confide yourself if you only did car hire, and maybe the business will later require you to do tours. Okay, so this is what I'm saying, like look for a name that is not confiding, like car hire, say car ventures or car something, so that you have a very broad playground to play around with. Okay, because most times I've seen people start a business, register. When you're doing your name registration for the business, you confide yourself, and then the business demand something more than what you thought you wanted to do. Okay, so every time you're starting a new business, there's something that you think you want to start, but there's something that the customer will require from you. The business will, the customers will demand something that probably you had not even foreseen. So you might be forced to change from what you thought initially you were going to start to something else. That's what I'm trying to explain. So look for a name that it can do a lot of things, because you will not know how your business will pan out in the future. Okay, that's number one. So look for an example. Like I'll give an example, like if I wanted to do a business that I'm not sure what I want to do exactly, like I will call it lemon venture. Okay, because I'm feeling like I'm not sure exactly what I want to do, but I want to do registration for my business. Because let me tell you, just like a house, it's very important for you to create the foundation, proper foundation from the word go. And I'm gonna tell you why towards the end of the video. Okay, so that's number one. So when you go to, if you're in Kenya especially, if you want to do business registration, you can do all that business registration on the ECITIZEN. Okay, so every there's a way you can follow how to register your business. If you're not able to still do it, there are people who can register for you the business. It's not expensive to register your business, and it's very, very important for you to have a registered business. Okay, that's number one. So when you're still working, I want you to register your business. So before you even think a lot, look for a name. Look for a name that can do a few things that you think you can do. Then register the name of the business. Okay, that's number one. Number two, choose a business that comes easily for you. You know, people tend to move so far from what they're already doing, from their work, or it's easy to do something that you already know how to do, or something that comes easily for you. So you can do something because it's something that you're doing in your current job. So it's easy for you to venture and to branch from whatever you already know. Or if you can't do that, look for something that is a hobby that comes easily for you. Okay, let me give you an example. You work in an organization as an accountant. I always use an accountant because that's what I know. Okay, so you work in an organization as an accountant. So what it means, if you can start any business, probably for tutoring college students. Okay, if you move within the same, because you can tutor students accounting, the students who are doing CPAs. Okay, so it's easy for you to do something that is within your everyday, because it comes easy, and it's easy for you to manage working a 9 to 5 and doing that business. Okay, I told you in another video, I actually did tutoring for students because it came so easy. It was easy for me to tutor kids without thinking so much about what am I going to do on the weekends. So I used to do it on the weekends and holidays alone, and it was so easy because somehow the material, to understand the material, was very easy. So it's very easy for me to teach students who are struggling with mathematics and sciences. Okay, so look for a business that is something that is easily comes to you, or something that is a hobby that you can close your eyes and do. For example, I know people who work in corporate, but they can do hair really nice. Okay, so you see, this is something that you can do on the weekends, do when you're on your leave, but it's something that comes so easily. Like for you to plait hair, for you to do makeup, it's something that you can do without thinking so much about it. Okay, so now you have this business that you've registered. You're doing something that you love as a hobby, or something that is within the limits of which you're employed in your 9 to 5. Okay, I hope I'm making sense until there. Okay, so choose something that comes so easy for you. Okay, that's number two. Number three, so when you're setting up any business, one of the things that I've come to realize is that you never know how far or how fast your business can grow, because you're already working a 9 to 5. You never anticipate on this other side that you can start a business and it can really pick up. You start earning more than what your current job is offering in a few, let's say 6 months or 5 or whatever months. You never know. Business can really surprise you. You can start something and it takes so long for it to pick, but you can start something and then it picks so fast. You're just in shock. You're never prepared for these things. So for me, it's create good foundation in whatever business you decide to do, because you just never know. You just never know how that business is going to turn out. Okay, so create systems. And when I say system, is just know from as you as a person, how do you want this business to be run? How much are you going to be charging clients? So these are things that you're doing while you're still working somewhere. So you come up with a plan of, I want to, if I'm doing hair, if I'm doing this certain kind of hair, I'm going to be charging this amount. If I'm doing tutoring for accounting, if I'm doing this level, maybe level 1 and 2, I'm going to be charging this much. If I'm doing level 3 and 4, this is the much I'm going to be charging. If I'm doing level 4, 5 and 6, this is what I'm going to be charging. The same with hair. There's simple hair, probably you're doing cornrows, so, and then you're doing probably twist. So just come up with already system of, I'm going to be charging this much when I'm doing this kind of hair. And I'm going to explain why this is very important at the end of the day, okay? So that is number 3. Number 4, I want you to open an account. I can never stress this enough. So you want to already gauge yourself, because you're already working a 9 to 5, you want to see this business that you're opening. How much is this business earning you? Let me tell you how many people do side hustle that give them a lot of money, but because they don't have bank accounts to monitor or to keep account of how much they were able to earn for that month. So they end up, they have a side business, they have their income, so they splurge so much because they have all this money coming in that is not accounted for. Yeah. So when you don't have an accountability to understand, I can actually move from my 9 to 5 to my business, because I've seen in the last 6 months, this is the much averagely, this is the much I am making per month. Okay, so I want you to open an account, a business account that has your business name. Okay, again, very, very important. Why? Because you don't know how fast your business is going to grow. A business account shows you the numbers don't lie. The numbers never lie. If you can see how much your business is giving you per month, then when number 1, when the time comes for you to delegate that business, you already know, I make this much. If I was making this much as a person, if you employ an extra person to come and help you, they can't come and tell you we didn't make this much. If you're living, especially if you set up a physical shop and you're living them, then you know, I have done an average of 6 months. I know this business can give me this much. So it's so hard for someone to come and tell you less, because you already know the numbers of the business. Okay, and I'm saying average of the 6 months, because you will have good months, you'll have bad months, but the fact that you already know averagely, this is the average amount of money I make every month, it's important that you already know those numbers for yourself. Okay, so something else about business name and a business account and charging your business. So when you establish a business account, the bank is able to just have a record of how your business is operating, so that when your business grows, you don't miss out on the juicy parts of what the business was able to offer you, so that the bank can also offer credit depending based on how your business was performing from the start. Okay, you know, now people come to open bank account when they start earning a lot of money, and they forget when you're running a business, it's not just the amount of money that comes lump sum. Okay, it is, they can see the money, how you churn your money. This was the deposit, this was the withdrawal, this was the deposit of that month, this is how much. They can see the cycle of your business and how you're making money. So don't miss out because you don't know. So don't miss out on having a business account that you can stand on, especially if your business is able to grow and you want to expand your business and you might need credit. So if you had not opened a business account, it's so hard for the bank to give you credit on that business if they don't have accountability. Okay, that's something else. Another thing that I can say is, when you start the business, have an accounting system. Okay guys, let me tell you, I know when I say this, you think, that's why should I have a business? It's just a new business, it's not important for me to have any system in place. I just want to start and see how it takes me. You can start, and it can take you really fast. And I'm telling you, the worst thing is to start to figure out which accounting system to use when you have grown so fast, grown so quickly, you don't even know what is happening. Okay, so there are some accounting systems that are very cheap. The reason why you need an accounting system, guys, is because when you have a bank account, you have a business name, you want to raise invoices based on those, be able to raise an invoice based on your business name. Okay, so you want to remove yourself from just selling any products written Julia whatever. You want to have some enterprise or some venture that is raising this invoice. Okay, so set up, come up already. If you've not even reached to this point, just have an idea, which accounting system can I use? Let me tell you, they are so cheap. They go to as low as 1,600. I can mention a few if you need to know, but the most important is there are so many accounting softwares to use that you can do stock taking, that you can do raise your invoices, track your inventory. And let me tell you why people lose a lot of money when they're starting a business. It's because they don't know how to monitor their stock. They don't know how which invoices were raised. They don't know how much stock is remaining. They don't know how much stock was sold. Especially, let me tell you guys, the reason why I'm saying start these things when you're even in your 9 to 5 is because you're able to also train yourself of how to raise those invoices, so that the time comes for you to delegate. If you don't want to leave your 9 to 5 and you want to hire someone, you already know how to train this person and say, you cannot sell without an invoice, or I want all business expenses raised or business invoice raised on this software. Okay, so that's a very important thing. Okay, so I personally use QuickBooks. I feel like it's very easy to use. Then all the invoices that I raise for my customers are on QuickBooks. So it's when I'm coming to raise any statement or to know how much I sold for a month, it's so easy for me to just have an idea, not have an idea, have an exact amount of money that I was able to generate as sales from my QuickBooks account. Okay, so you look for different, there is UserPoint, there is Zoho, business accounting software, but you have to do your due diligence because I've not used the other software. Okay, these are just some of the software that I know. I've not been paid to promote them in any way, but I have used QuickBooks, so I can say I like their software. But please do your due diligence before you embark on taking any accounting software. Okay, that's just, you have to do your due diligence. Okay, another thing I'm going to tell you is, so you have created your name. Okay, very, very important, a business name. 2, you have chosen something that is so easily that you can do. Okay, another thing you can do, you have set up an accounting software, you have opened a bank account. Okay, so now you're ready to go. Okay, so this is the hardest part. You already know how to do all these things. I want you to now sell yourself. When I say sell yourself, I mean tell people what you do. Don't be ashamed. If you teach kids, if you want to do tutoring, tell people, go to schools and just find students and do refer. Those students are going to be able to refer you to other students. If you're doing hair, don't be ashamed. If, for example, you hold a very prestige or a high position, but you see yourself going into a hobby of making hair, tell people. If you do makeup, tell people I am able to do makeup. You can set up free, you can do free work initially, just to show people the kind of work you're able to produce, especially for things that people want to see. Like, you know, most people are like, okay, you say you can do makeup, can you please show me any work you've done previously of clients? Maybe you did a wedding, maybe you did a graduation. Offer yourself to do free services for people who are graduating, do their family, take photos. Okay, it's very important for you to have a portfolio of something that you're doing, okay, or something that you're willing to do. So offering jobs that you're not paid is just a marketing, a sales point. You're selling without being paid, because you know in future people are going to refer you. People are going to refer you depending on the kind of work you've done. Again, it's so hard for you to tell people what you're able to do when they cannot see exactly what you're able to do. Okay, especially if you're doing services. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna say. Sell yourself. Don't be afraid to say what you do. Tell people I am employed, but I also do this on the side. I bake cakes on the side. But it's very important that if you can bake for one of your neighbors, a child who has a birthday, for free, do it, because that one client, that one free cake can really take you far than you even imagine. Okay, that's something else to do. Another thing that I'm going to say is, when you get your first client, I am going to be insistent on this. When you get your first client, kindly do a job that is outstanding. Let me tell you, there's nothing as bad as when you take a chance on a new business and they disappoint you. I have met so many people, or I have encountered so many situations where you give and someone comes to you and say, oh, you know, I can bake cakes, I'm trying to do this business, and then you like, I don't like dealing with small businesses, but I'm willing to give you a chance. So I give you a chance for baking, and then you disappoint me. Guess what I'm going to tell my friends? Her to do the cake, she did not deliver. Be sure I will not refer you to any clients. I will tell you, businesses grow because of referral. One good business, one good job done properly is what is going to propel other people to sell for you without you even marketing for yourself. So when you get your first client, I want you to do your 110%. If you have to do hair, do it. Like, let me tell you, I will say this, and I've said it in several videos. You have to leave that place knowing you did your 100%. If your 100% was not good to that client, you know you could not have done anything more. That was everything. You did everything. You gave your all. So you know, this client did not like my work. Probably I need to learn something better, learn something more to be better, but I did my 100%. For you to come and do a shoddy job, that's what kills you before you even start. So when you get your first client, I want you to do an outstanding job, okay? Even if you get one client for 6 months, do it properly, such that it's non-negotiable. It's just that you've not gotten another client, but this client is able to refer to you several clients and say, when you get ready to do this, please, I know someone who can do for you a wonderful job, okay? So that's something else. Another thing that I can tell you, as you're still working, when you, for example, whatever business you decide to do, look for networking. Let me tell you, the beautiful thing about this modern day is that the networking events are so many. If you're doing a business about cars, there are always networking events where they show cars, new brands of painting, there's always something coming up. So network, go to those events. If you're doing housing, if you're doing building, like you want to go into building of building materials and building houses, real estate, there's always, I'm telling you, you go to these places, they have information, they have people who can tell you, you can see new product in the market. You network with people who are on the same industry, because when you do networking, it's so important, because you meet people, you meet people who can help you to source for material. You meet people who can help you give you information that you cannot get when you're not networking. So please network. It's free. Those events you pay. I think I went for one for real estate. We paid it was 200 or 600. Okay, so I was not even going for real estate because I'm in real estate, but I just wanted to see. I was so impressed by how those events come up, the information they teach you. Even if they were charging 1,000, just take time to pay for these events, so that you meet people of like-minded, people who have done these businesses, people who are doing these businesses, how they source their material. You get all that information in networking. And let me tell you, because we like networking and we like making friends, you'll make a friend there who will tell you, if you want to start, just do this and this and this. So it's your high time to do an investment before you even go into that business of networking, finding people, like-minded people already in that business, so that when time comes for you to start, you already know where to start. Okay, I'm gonna say another thing. Another important thing is your hiring. And when I say hiring, I don't mean when you're working, you're already not ready to hire. For example, you're not ready to hire, but you have an idea that when the time comes for you to hire, have an idea of who will be your first employee. Like, let me give you an example. So in every business, you know who you want as a first. For example, you want a marketer as a first employee. You want an accountant as your first employee, or you want a salesperson, or you want a construction. Like, are you seeing? This is what I mean. Choose the people how you're going to hire when your business grow. So I already know I want this then next this. So the more your business grow, you know, I want an accountant, I want a marketer, I want person for sale, or I want an accountant, I want a PR, or I want an PR, then I want an accountant. So have a list of how you're going to hire, your structure of hire, so that you're not surprised. Create the job description of your first hire, of your first employee. Yeah, first employee, how much you're going to pay them, depending on how you see your business grow, so that when that time comes, you're not fumbling and running and looking for just anybody to come and do this work. You already know this will be my first, this the amount of money I'm going to pay, and it comes so easy for you to hire because you already put system of who to hire first when that time comes. Okay, when I say create system, even when you're working your 9 to 5, create systems. Even when you if you ever want to transition to a full-time entrepreneur, if you ever want to do side hustle as you're still working a 9 to 5, the issue is you have started something and something is going. Let me tell you why it's important for you to start a business that has a wonderful foundation. Number one, if you decided to start something and you feel like that business was not what you expected, you're able to sort of change. Okay, change to something else within the same market, because one market can be so broad. You can start real estate, but what do you mean by real estate? It's a lot. You can do managing properties. You can do doing what? You can do like an agent for the properties. You can do selling of the houses. Like you can do construction materials. So you can start in one area, but the clients shift you to another section, but you're still within the same industry. Okay, so it's important that you have good foundation of starting the business. Okay, another thing that I found that is important, let me tell you, most people have missed up on a chance of good opportunities because they didn't have a good foundation. For example, a company, you can approach a company, or you get a business, or someone says, I know someone who is trying to do this. They call you up and they say, we hear you want to do construction, and this is just an example. You're in construction. Can you send us your are you registered? And unfortunately, you're not registered. Can you send us your CR12? You don't have a CR12. Can you send us your PIN number? You don't have a PIN number. Can you send us your incorporation certificate? You don't have. Are you seeing how you will miss up on a chance of doing proper business that pay you proper money because you didn't start? You knew what you wanted to do, but you didn't start properly. So you having the paper gives you an opportunity to show up and to even start. Even your client, your first client can be really a high paying client just because they see you have things in order, you have paperwork in order. So if they say, kindly send us your paperwork, your business registration, because we deal with people who are only registered. If you imagine if someone was looking for a person in the construction industry and five of you were referred to them, and then they say, kindly send for us paperwork, and then they find it's only one person who has paperwork. You're the only person who has registered, your company is registered, you have your CR12 in place, you have your KRA PIN number, you have your certificate of incorporation. They will take you because they can see you've never done any business, but you have papers to say we are in serious business. So don't underestimate starting your company properly, because your first hire can really, this can be your first client and you do such a high paying job, you can't even believe it. I've known people who left their job after 2 clients because of, like, opportunity meets readiness. Like, if you're ready, an opportunity will come, and if it finds you ready, then they go with you. Okay, so that's why I'm saying these are my personal opinion of, if you're starting any business, even if it never peaks, do proper foundation of your business, so that even when you transition, when you are able to transition, you're not transitioning and running around to try and create this business name. You're coming up with all these things, and now you're doing them when you have a client. Please do them even before the client comes. Okay, and I'm going to throw this out there. Something that I learned that was my biggest mistake was, when you open a business business account, a business name, when you registered your business, please make sure when you get your PIN certificate that you always do nil return until you get a client. That was the biggest mistake I made, because apparently you're charged penalty for not even filing nil return. The minute the name is registered, it will start accruing penalties if you don't do nil return every month. So as you're working and you've opened a business and you've registered a business name, nil returns until you get your first client. You guys, I hope this video is helpful. If you're thinking of starting a business, probably this is a sign for you to go for it. And when I say, let me tell you, the systems that I've given you, you can do them as you're still working. So that it's not so overwhelming. You know, when every time I think of doing something, this is my personal experience, I feel so overwhelmed. I'm like, where do I start? So start there. Start with a name. Yeah. Go to the next, like slowly build up, just the way you'll build a house slowly, knowing you've created a wonderful foundation, and now you're probably creating the rest of the walls slowly. Okay, so don't feel overwhelmed, don't feel intimidated. Let me tell you, if you don't have someone to do for you the registration of the business, you don't have anybody to search, just I will leave my email. You can send for me an email of if you need help, and then I can help. I can guide you on how to do it. Or if you need an accountant in all sort of manner, you can email me, and then I can assist you how I can. Okay, because I don't want you to be feeling so stuck and feeling so intimidated by all these things. Okay, so probably this is a sign to start. I wish you all the best. I'm sending you all the lights. I'm sending you good vibes. I'm sending you the courage to start. Fear, afraid or not afraid, if you can do small incremental steps over time, then you'll find yourself somewhere. I hope this video is helpful. I'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for watching. Bye.